Bling. Let's talk about life skills. We building up our quality to right wills. We rolling out of poverty, love heals. So we become the prodigy of how a sistership could be a really hot commodity. Stand together, we united, hold hands, support each other dreams and our plans, doing everything we can. Just to show we understand the power of a friendship, fam. Live life on purpose. Together we learn it. Yeah, let's talk. We don't wanna see you hurt, and we here for each other, no matter the color. Networking, that's for sure and for certain. Come on. Yeah, we on a sistership. Come with us, we on a sistership. Yeah, we on a sistership. Roll with us, we on a sistership. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. Sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sistahship Talk Show right here on Genesis Radio. I'm MamaC, and we are glad that you chose to join us today. And we're going to have some fun here because we got mamas in the house, and we're going to talk about the absolute awesome and unique and special relationship between mothers and daughters. Tiff, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am TiffanyCo, Bling, and next to me we got another Tiffany. Go ahead, Tiffany, introduce yourself.
Hi, how's everybody doing? My name is Tiffany. I have my baby here, Navy.
And so she's a mama too, yeah. So, and that's what mamas do. When mamas have to take their babies with them, that's what we do. And we as mothers, we understand that.
Come on now.
Because as her mother, I had to take her to work with me a few times. Trish. Trish is Tiffany's mom.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hello. Thank y'all for having me. And I am Trish Elston. I am radiant.
Yes, you are. Before we get heavily into the dialogue, I'd like to read something that I think will set the stage and create the foundation for our dialogue today. Because we don't just have a show. We have a dialogue.
That's right.
About things that are important to us and are important to the quality of our lives. And our daughters are part of the quality of our lives. So, here I go. A mother and daughter's love is never separated. No daughter and mother ever live apart in the heart, no matter what the distance between them is, shall I say. Mothers and daughters together are a powerful force to be reckoned with. Words are not enough to express the unconditional love that exists between a mother and a daughter. Hi. We can't choose the family we are born into, and this fact gives us the foundation of our future and shapes our personalities. People are different, and moms are no exception. Neither is our daughters. Some become a mismatch with their kids, and some make a perfect match with them. But no matter what the case is, we will always love our moms, our daughters, and because this kind of love is unconditional, it is also indestructible.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Our focus today will delve deeply into how different the relationships between mother and daughters can be. We will share I have some different types of mothering that goes on. So I'm going to share some of that. But we're going to talk basically about our being mothers and that process, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. And, just hopefully those of you who are with us today are prepared to take some notes. Because I think it's important when you're dealing with quality of life issues, whatever you don't know, you need to write it down. So you can go back to it. Create your own treasure chest for living, loving, learning, laughing, and just enjoying your life fully. Okay, so hey, I'm gonna start with Trish. Trish, tell me about your being a mother. The first time you became a mother, what you felt like, etc.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me start here. When I found out I was pregnant, I was scared to tell my mother.
Oh yeah, girl.
Okay, let's go right there.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I felt like I let my mother down.
Mm.
I wrote a note. My mother carried a briefcase to work. I wrote a note, put it in her bag.
Scaredy cat.
You wrote a note.
You wrote a note. She couldn't even tell her face to face.
I'm gonna tell you what I did.
Oh, yeah. Let her tell you what she did when you finished.
So I go to work. I'm at work. I was already out of high school and everything.
Right.
My mother called me while I'm at work, and she seemed so happy and cheerful. I said, "Uh-oh, she ain't read my note."
Yes, she did.
No.
No?
I said, "Ma, did you see my note?" She said, "What note, boo?" I said, the one I put in your briefcase in your bag. Now, you know if you want me to see anything, you don't put it in there. So, she read the note while I was on the phone.
Oh, God.
Ooh, yeah. She was like, mm-hmm. So what y'all gonna do? I said, we rocking with it. She was like, okay. And I was like, it was that simple?
It was that simple.
And she has been my rock forever. Forever.
You know, even before then, from the beginning, and now the rock has gotten even stronger.
Yeah. So that was with David.
Uh-huh.
That's her first one.
That's her first.
Then I had Tiffany.
Uh-huh.
And I was scared to tell her with Tiffany. And mind you, and I was married. I'm still scared to tell.
You were still holding on to the residuals of your first pregnancy experience.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it's like 3 years later.
Wow.
Had Tiffany. Tiffany became her road dog. They in the car, Tiffany ride, because my mother was 2 hours from me.
Right.
So she ride with Tiffany, bring Tiffany back, and Tiffany staying up, David sleep. Tiffany up with her back and forth. And I understand that, because Tiffany is my road dog now.
Right, right.
All the way to Georgia. This girl's a speed demon.
Yeah.
But
Some things you get from your mother.
Exactly. I knew she was giving me the cockeye there. I said that.
And then I had Shanae. Now, mind you, Shanae and Tiff is 13 years apart.
Wow.
But I had my grandmother to watch David and Tiffany. So I never had to stress about, are my children okay?
Or who's watching, who's touching, or what's going on with my children.
I didn't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
But then I moved up here and had Shanae. When it was time to go back to work, I cried because I was like, I gotta leave my child. I can't take her back to New York because my grandmother,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I say it killed me to leave her with somebody that I was not familiar with. It killed me. But then the lady was like, oh, I'm trying to have a child too. She had a child that was Tiffany age, a son.
Right.
But she's like, me and my husband is trying to have a baby. Oh, we take your baby to Jersey and everybody think that's our child.
Me?
Mind you, she's Caucasian. And I'm like, she gonna kidnap my child. So that experience with having to step outside what I was comfortable with, it opened my eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
It opened my eyes. And the lady, I mean, she loved Shanae like she was her own.
What
So
a blessing.
I was
What a
thankful for that.
blessing. Yeah.
But being a mother, there's no manual for this.
There really isn't.
No, there's no
This is
manual.
trying.
There's no manual.
It's stressful. It's the most wonderful non-paid job on the planet.
Yeah, for
And,
real.
and I'm saying wonderful. It has its moments, though, you know.
Right.
It ain't all wonderful.
Right.
It's mostly wonderful,
Well-
but not all wonderful.
Why did I grow up?
Girl, please, you remember when you were a kid and you couldn't wait to grow up? And then when you grew up, you said, this ain't what I thought it was.
Yes, my mother let me down on that one.
Yeah, and
She ain't tell me what it was really about.
Just, how many kids do you have?
I had 3.
just
You have
three.
3. Okay, because I have 4, and I'm the only child. Well, I'm the only child by my mother, but I have a brother and a sister on my father's side. And I guess being the only child was great, but I have 4 children, and that is difficult. I mean, 3 girls and a boy. But the 3 girls,
Oh, my
that's
God.
a challenge.
Are they you? Are they you? Is that the challenge? Because when you look at them, you see you.
My oldest one is me,
All the way.
but 10 times
Ooh.
me.
But you see, she's me, but 10 times me. But I always say I'm the pussycat of the team, and she's the tiger.
Well, then I don't know what Tia is, because Tia,
The lion.
You the tiger, Tia's the gorilla.
Yeah.
yeah.
See, and I understand that. Because that one over here, her voice is so soft, but Jesus.
Oh. Let us pray. I'm sure.
We get ready to have church in here. Oh, Lord.
I look at her and be like, is that how I'm really am?
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? One of the things I really, really don't like when people call their children mini-me. I think that, for me, I always said my daughter is a fabulous her.
Okay.
It's my job to help her to be her, not me. Yes, you all have traits
Yes.
from your mothers. But, you know, I think that a lot of times it makes your daughters feel as though they've got to walk in your shadow.
Now, see, I never called my daughters mini-me's.
Me either.
Now,
Never.
my grandbaby, oh, she's just like her mama.
She's just like her mama.
Is she?
She might be worse than what her mother was at that age.
At that age.
She's
Okay.
worse.
She's worse.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were the good baby.
I wouldn't say good.
Okay.
But I'm just like, I like to explore.
Yeah, okay.
I'll say that.
Okay, okay.
So she likes to explore?
She does. And it's
Okay.
like when you tell to me no wouldn't do it. I still do it anyway. And she's the same exact way. You could say no, you could pop her, but she's still gonna go after what it is she wants.
Exactly. It's like,
I like
let
that
me
about
do
her.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's so important. And I raised my daughter to be who she is. Now, there were times when I'm like, okay,
I don't know what she's going to do.
when's she gonna get?
When she gonna get it together?
When she gonna get it together?
And I'm like that with my kids now. Sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, oh, Jesus.
But you know,
You have to let them blossom in their own time, not our time, you know, and I think that that's the one not so good thing about some mothers. They want their children to do what they want them to do, irrespective of who their children are.
is it that they want them to do what they want them to do, or they want them to do what they didn't do when they
Well,
missed
that
out
too,
on?
that too, that too.
That's
A
true.
lot of mothers want their children to live their dreams,
Exactly.
as opposed to allowing that children. You know. I always tell people I'm a very spiritual person, and spiritual doesn't mean religious. It means that you have a connection to the God power within you.
Exactly.
And
Got
I'm
Nikki in the
listening
room.
when it comes to my daughter. I go to God, and I'm like, you know, what do I need to do now to
Right.
bring her to the level? Because I saw this brilliant, beautiful, dynamic. Some people call her a pain in the butt, but I'm not gonna name no names.
They call me bipolar. They call me everything. I mean,
Let me tell
Is
you,
it because they don't understand who you are?
exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? They also know she doesn't take no stuff.
I
People
don't.
know that. She don't take
I
no stuff.
don't.
She is straight up business. She's going to get things done. I put up a post this
I'll
morning.
do it by myself if I have to.
And
but
she'll
I'm
do
gonna
it
get
by
done.
herself, but she gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like that. I mean, I always say to people, I think that part of my health challenges today was because I did it myself. If I couldn't get someone to get, like, when I worked at the hospital, I was director of women's health services, and whenever I was going to do a special event, if the housekeeping staff wasn't getting there fast enough, I moved tables,
Yeah, that's
boxes,
right.
all of that.
I know that's
And I'm
right.
sure that contributed to my sciatic nerve saying, what is wrong with this woman? I'm just going to give her an issue to deal with. Maybe she'll slow down. That didn't slow me down. I mean, several times I went into a hospital holding on to the wall, you know, to get to my office. And thank God it was on the first floor, but I ended up getting to the office, and they send me straight to the emergency room. And so, you know, I think that sometimes that's a very good thing to do things yourself or do what needs to be done, but multitasking can work against you in the long run. So you have to balance that out so that you're taking care of yourself as well as, whatever it is you feel needs to be done. Exactly. So, I'm watching her and oh my God, she makes my head spin sometimes,
I'm guilty of it because I multitask a lot. I mean, I can go from couponing to to running a show, to doing nails, to braiding hair, to purple pantry, to I do a lot, and I get it done, but organized. But I tell a lot of people can't do that, and don't do it if you can't do it, because if it's not organized, it becomes chaos.
It becomes chaos.
And then I'll go and I might hike, and then I might go exercise it, and everybody's like, well, what the hell? How is she juggling all of this? But it's like keeping it organized. It's organized chaos, but it all has to be organized in order to do it. And then know when to do it and how to do it and putting everything in order and keeping it the way it's supposed to be. Just like knowing that, okay, we have a show to do. So I always set up for the show maybe the day before. So I was in here yesterday setting up everything so that we could have a show.
And it looks beautiful, and it looks beautiful.
And
it is
I was in
beautiful,
here,
yes.
And some people were like, oh, God, what is she doing now? She's rearranging the whole place. Oh, my God. Some people don't like change. I ain't going to name no names. They don't like change.
But you need to read the book.
And they said, oh, my God, why is she oh, my God, what's going on? Why is she put the bling on the walls? Oh, God. And I'm like, listen, you got to show them how to, change it up a little bit. They might want to change it up if people want to change it up a little bit.
And they might enjoy it.
Listen, they might enjoy it.
Exactly. And
women like change. We like change. We like a little bling, a little,
Yeah.
And I know the bling was in honor of the Tiffany.
Now the band is popping,
Absolutely.
I need to change it up a little bit.
So that they see the banner and not all the clocks.
Right.
We ain't on no time schedule.
Exactly. We got our phones, we got the radio, the telephone with the time. So we don't really need that behind us. But beauty is behind us, and it complements the banner. So everything works in alignment. We just have to be in alignment to make it work. Exactly.
And we're talking about mothers and daughters today, so we want to see all things beautiful. I mean, our daughters, our mothers, we need bling, we need water. I don't want to see the clocks behind me. We ain't doing time today.
Well, Tiffany, you were going to tell how you told me you were pregnant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Actually, she didn't.
Exactly.
I knew before she came to the house.
She did.
I knew before she came to the house.
What was I, 25? I would think I was 25, and I was living by myself in Linux Terrace, building 40, okay? And I was working, and I had my convertible, my drop-top convertible. And I was good. I was doing it on my own.
She was living.
She was living. And I'm like, I think I was at work, and I'm like, no, I got to tell my mother I'm pregnant. God, they all here come scared to death. I'm like, but I'm on my own now, but I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to tell this lady I'm pregnant. Oh. So I'm like, okay. So I get to the house, and I'm pick up my phone. And I called you right at my house.
She called me from your house.
From my house, right? And I'm like, look at the phone, and I call, and I'm like, so I'm like, I gotta tell you something. And she like, I already know.
Just the way she said it.
I already know.
I knew there was nothing else that would probably.
I didn't even have to say anything. I already know. I'm like.
Yeah, but she didn't on the phone tell me. She came to the house.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Like,
you came, cause you said, "Ma, I got something to tell you."
Yeah, I already know.
When she said that, I already knew.
Yep.
Those are the famous words that a lot of us use. Ma, I got something. Because my mother was mentally ill. She didn't really raise me, but when I got pregnant, I wasn't really. Well, yeah, I was a little afraid to say I was pregnant. I was still living at home, but I was 21, and I was 6 months pregnant before I told my mother. But
how you manage that?
I didn't start the show until I was 7 months pregnant. So I moved out right after I told my mother. Yeah.
How many months were you?
Huh?
How many months were you?
Yeah, I was about 7 months before before I started like really.
No, but she
Before
told
she
me.
showed you?
No, but she
Yeah.
told me.
Oh, okay.
She'll tell you. She'll tell you.
We want your story, yeah.
Yeah.
So she came to the house. I already knew, but I was good. She was grown. She had her own place. She had her own car. She had her own job. She had her own little poodles. and that was her road dog. Literally, yeah, exactly. So, you know, I was happy. I was going to be a grandmother. I was like, I don't even think I could really fathom the depth of what that meant.
Never mind you, nobody ever thought I would have a kid.
No, let me tell you, all 4 times she got pregnant, and I tell one of my girlfriends, or all of my girls, they said, Tiffany? Really?
Yeah.
Nobody, all 4 pregnancies, because we were sure that she was never going to have any children. How wrong were we?
Was she that high maintenance?
Yeah,
I was high maintenance.
she was
now.
high maintenance
I was
now.
tearing up Harlem now.
I'm about to say, for them to be shot, you had to be.
Hum 14 Street down to 125th Street, down to 155th Street. Oh yeah, we was high maintenance. You couldn't tell me nothing.
She and her girlfriends were the fly girls. And, you know, so they all have children now, but with this one in particular, now I could see it with the other 2, but this one, nobody ever thought she'd have a baby. But now she has 4 children. Matter of fact, after she had 4 children, it took her a while to adjust to being a mother. I don't think she really believed it herself. Like, oh
Those is
boy.
mine.
I said, thank God I was there.
To tell her, those are yours, honey.
Yes, those are yours, honey. What about you, Tiffany? How did you tell your mom?
Well, it was my 26th birthday. It was kind of like a surprise dinner, and she thought I was pregnant then. And we argue to this day, and I told her I was
Intuition.
not pregnant at that time.
At
But she
that
was,
time.
right?
No,
No.
I conceived that night.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
yeah.
And I
Serious.
said, yeah, for real. Because I said the next phone call I get, she going to tell me she pregnant.
See, mothers know we have that kind of connection. Like I said, my daughter called me and said, Mom, I got something to tell you. When she walked in the door, I told her, you pregnant. You know we have that kind of connection with our children. Even the kind of connection they don't even have with their fathers. Their father's level of intuition is not that strong.
It's removed.
You know, it's removed. It's removed, you know.
What intuition?
Yeah, what intuition? It's true. Men, I don't know what happened. You know, in my first book, I said God made man, and he looked at him and said, it is good. But, oops, I forgot some stuff. Then he created woman and gave us everything that he gave man, and then gave us more and stuck us with man because he was too loving a God to get rid of them. Did I just tell the truth?
You did.
Oh, straight up.
But we need them in order to get the beauty that we have.
Oh,
We do.
absolutely.
We do.
I love the men
do.
in my life. I
We do.
really do. I'm glad they're there. And I think when the right man and the right woman come together, there is a level of challenge and interest and excitement and just joy that, okay, the little one, Tiffany's baby is trying to talk now. She's trying to tell us some stuff. She's trying to tell us something, yeah, you know. So, I never discount men. I discount crumb bum men.
Okay.
Okay, I don't do crumb bum men. I don't do men who just don't get it, don't want to get it, and they're more or less operating from that faux conditioning that keeps them moving in a direction that is counterproductive to them and the females in their lives. So, you know what? I think you have to have a man in your life who's willing enough and ready enough to work with who you are.
That's right.
And when we become mothers, I mean, the challenge is so great that sometimes men become jealous of the time that women have to put into their children. But we have to put in that time, otherwise we end up with crumb bums.
Okay.
Crumb bum females and crumb bum males. So you gotta put in the time. I mean, I'm 66. I'm not gonna tell my daughter's age. I'm gonna let her do that if she feels like it. But I'm still there with my daughter and for my daughter because we're old dogs.
That's it.
You know?
And that's your gift. God
And that's my gift.
presented you with her.
Absolutely, my one and only child. You know, and so I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. You know what? I sometimes wonder what women who don't have children or don't have someone significant in their lives do. There has to be a sense of emptiness or a sense of I know for some women there's a sense of incompleteness, but you know what? I think that we as women have to accept what is and find a way, because there are a whole bunch of children who need some attention from somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so when we are willing, whether we gave birth or not, to step in and help where there is a need for help, that's we are blessed tremendously when we do that, you know. Right now my two youngest granddaughters are in Ocean City, Maryland, and they went with, you know, some of our neighbors who are like family. They're like I mean, we've been up there for going on 14 years in the same place. One of the things we really understood was there's a great need for children to have stability in their lives, and I think it does take a village. So they knew what we were doing and trying to take life to another level. So they said, "Can they go?" And we're like, "Yes," because all of them grew up together.
I mean, they grew up together.
They all grew up together.
It took me some time to allow them to go. I mean, although they've been together a lot, you know, it's still hard.
It's still hard.
It's still hard, you know?
It is.
So they bugged me, can we go? And it took me a minute. I mean, with everything that's going on and COVID, it took me a minute to, like, you know, but then you say, I can't live in fear.
Absolutely.
You know, we got to let them go, and I trust the people that they're with.
Exactly.
And they've been around them, so
forever.
Again, we can't live in this fear of, okay,
what's going to happen? What if?
So, you know, I know where they were going to stay, and that they wouldn't be around a whole bunch of people. Right. So I said, okay, go ahead, pack your bags and go. And I allowed them to go.
Yeah. After I kept saying, "Oh, let them go, let them go."
Yeah, you know, everybody. But you do have that fear, because those are my only kids. And then one of them had an accident before in the park, so I even had
and knocked out the front teeth.
Knocked out the front teeth, and that's my pet peeve, teeth. So it brought fear to me, but I did let them go too.
And they're having a good time. They're having a good time, and the youngest, but both of them have learned how to swim. We taught them how to swim when they were like little things, but the youngest one had never been to a beach, so this is a new experience for her. And I always say, you know, new experiences help to expand and enrich our lives.
That's right.
You know, I think some mothers shelter their children to such a degree that what happens is their children become afraid.
They live in fear. But and the reverse, because once that child gets outside,
they cut loose. They cut loose.
Oh, absolutely. They cut loose. We used to talk about the Catholic school girls. How, oh my God, in Catholic school there was this stigma. Yeah, stigma. That's a nice word for it. And so when they were older and could get away from their parents, they went buck wild. And we just would watch them and say, wow. And then especially preachers' children, you know, that's a whole nother ball game altogether. If you are not allowing your children to go out and experience the world, because you're parenting through your own fear.
But a lot of times, the preachers' kids, the preachers was out there.
The preachers were out there, straight up truth. That's exactly.
So now you holding your child because you know what you did.
You know what you did, or you know what you're doing.
Okay?
Exactly.
And you don't want your child to step in those waters.
But they end up stepping in those waters
because that's what they see.
That's what they see, and that's what they know.
Exactly.
Because no matter what's going on in your house, don't think your children don't know.
Or what they say, or eyes closed ain't sleep.
All closed eyes ain't sleep, you know? And you know, kids have a level of wisdom, I think.
Yes.
That they're trained out of for the most part. And they know things that we don't think they know.
Hello?
And they can interpret things we think they're too young to interpret.
Come on.
Hello, you know, and
And they tell your business.
and they tell you
Because they
will
start
tell your
doing
business.
things and you be like,
You know, I had an aunt, and my cousin just died, but I have an aunt, and my aunt is dead also. But I had an aunt who used to tell, she only had one child like me, and she was wild. She was on public assistance all of my cousin's life, and I mean, drinker, smoker, just crazy.
What aunt was this?
This was Aunt Tate. She died
I
when
didn't
I
know
was
her.
you
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
know
her.
her.
Yeah, and she told her daughter one day, if people ask you our business, tell them to mind their business and we'll mind ours.
well, hello.
Hello, you know? And we were like, wow, you know? But that is a piece of wisdom that I think is very important, because you know what? Kids will go out and tell everybody all your business.
Yes.
So you got to make sure that whatever you're doing, that you're comfortable with what you're doing if your child went out and told somebody. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that we're perfect and that we don't do some things we don't want someone to tell, but I think that we have to be very meticulous with respect to what we do and don't do.
Because how I go, monkey see, monkey
Do. Hello.
You just teaching them what to do.
What to do, exactly. And let me tell you, I raised my daughter in a corporate setting. At the time, when she was about 10, that's when I designed the women's wellness program at the hospital. But even before then, she saw me climb up the ladder and kept elevating myself, because my goal was to make sure she had the best life possible.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? The best life I could possibly give her. And that was my responsibility as a single mom, okay? There was no dad. But let me just say, I think that daughters who are raised by single moms have a level of strength that daughters who are in a home with two parents don't necessarily have. Sometimes they do. It depends on
The dynamics.
the dynamics, exactly. But I think that what they don't learn, they learn how to exercise their masculine energy, and that strength
Powerful.
and that power is awesome. Sometimes I have to calm it down, calm it down, calm it down. Calm the F down. You know, because she can really be, whoa.
Guilty.
You know, and yeah. So, I mean, she didn't get an opportunity.
I'm
Girls,
good. I just don't
she's good.
take BS.
Yeah, no,
Wait a minute.
BS, that's her trigger, BS.
When there's something that's just not right, I don't tolerate it, and I will
But
drop
how
it. I will
could
drop
you-
it like that.
Drop it like that.
I will tell you. I will tell you about it, and we can talk about it, and we'll sit down and I'll say this is what it is, and this is what we're not going to do, and this is how, can we resolve this? Can we do this? And if we can't, then we need to either move along and go our separate ways, or we can figure out how we're going to work it out, or we can separate.
Absolutely,
And if we can't, then we understand we agree to
differences.
disagree, and
Right,
we have our
right.
differences, and then we go on.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to sit and deal with something that I know I can't work with.
No, you can, but you're not
I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm just
You're not
gonna
going to
do it.
tolerate it.
Okay?
Exactly.
So if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If
Absolutely.
it's wrong, I gotta walk.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
If it
that's
ain't
just how
good
it
to
is.
you, it ain't good for you. Hello, come on. And so I feel the same way. I had a reputation when I was a younger woman. I kicked men to the curb so fast that it made the head spin, because I was not going to allow you. I knew from my childhood what abuse was.
Okay.
I learned at a young age what abuse was. And I made a promise to myself at age 19 that I was going to take better care of me than my parents did.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I had no parents per se.
Right.
They were the vessels through which I
You
made
came forth.
the entrance into this dimension of life.
Right.
And a lot of things I had to learn on my own. But the one thing I knew when I learned that I was pregnant with her, that I had to give her a better life. I said, I don't want, I had to go on public assistance in the beginning. But I said, I don't want to raise my daughter on public assistance. I said, I will not raise my daughter on public assistance. That life, I've seen what it's done to a lot of people. You get lazy, you become complacent, your mind begins to fizzle, you have no creativity, you have nothing.
You just existing.
You just existing. That's not living, and that's not what I wanted. So I, went back to school, got my GED, went on and got my associate degree, went to a technical school, and then got a certificate in medical transcription. Then I went on to St. Joseph's College in Brooklyn, got my bachelor's degree. And once I have the money, I'm going on. I want to get my master's and my doctorate.
Okay.
But I'm not, just like I paid for my bachelor's degree and graduated without owing a dime, because I made good money by then. And I didn't have to take out loans and all of that. So we have to decide what it is we want for our children. How do we want them to live? What examples do we want to set? Because whether we like it or not, they're going to do what we do.
That's it.
And that's the bottom line. Now, Tiffany, tell us about how it's been to be a mother so far. How old is your baby?
Well, Navy's 3. See, she told you she's
3.
3.
Oh, yeah. She just put up 3 fingers. Yeah. Tell me about your experience a little bit from the time you gave birth to your daughter to right now. Tell us about some of the challenges, some of the...
I think she was an interesting baby. From when I was pregnant with her, she would just do interesting things. Like, if they tell you, lay on your left side, the baby gets the most oxygen and things like that. If I was not laying on the proper side, she would just tap me constantly until I was to move. So I'm like, all right, I know she's interesting. I would, poke her twice. She would poke me back twice. I was like, oh, my God.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, this baby is obviously a blessing. The Lord told me what to name her. That's why her name is Grace. He gave me the name Grace.
All right.
Even in the womb, she was interesting. She was in a double sac. I have no idea what that means to this day, but she was in a double sac. When I was going through the process of being in labor, I had a midwife, and the midwife reached up. They have to check how dilated you are and everything.
Right.
She reached up, and Navy grabbed her hand.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I don't know what kind of baby this is going to be, but I know it's going to be something.
This is interesting so
Very.
far. Yeah.
Even giving birth to her, she came out and then went back in, came out and then went. In order to get her out, the nurse pushed down on my belly really hard, and Navy just popped out.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, all right, she's interesting.
She was playing peekaboo with life.
The whole time.
Like, oh, God. Oh, no, I'm going back. Oh, God, I'm going back. Yeah, I like that. I don't like that, yeah. Like, what the heck? Go ahead.
Very interesting. 2 days old, still in the hospital. They didn't release me yet. I had her all bundled up because I know I get cold. I'm cold all the time. So I said, I'm going to keep her warm. I'm going to make sure she's warm and toasty. The hospital, second day, Navy says, I'm hot. I was like, oh my God, what they got me on in here? The baby talking.
She was talking about her, okay?
I'm hot.
Yeah.
And she was hot. She was sweating.
Wow.
She was actually hot. So now I know, she gets really hot. So that was that. And, I know I'm still a new mom, so everything is trial and error.
Right.
I'm kind of following her.
You follow their lead.
Yeah.
Exactly. They'll tell you how to raise them through their actions and the thing their own experience. They'll allow those experiences to guide you with respect to
How they want to be treated.
what they want, etc. So that's interesting.
Christopher McCabe said they know everything.
Yeah, they do. They do. They need to come here and teach us. We think we're teaching them. They're actually teaching us if you pay. That's what spiritual growth is all about. I pay close attention to, I didn't know nothing about spiritual growth and spirituality when I was a young mother. Now that I do, I watch my grandchildren and I study them.
Okay.
And I align myself with them.
Right.
And allow them to have freedom of expression,
And support.
freedom of
It's important.
movement, and that level of support they need to grow in this dimension we're in.
That's right.
And that's challenging. It's very challenging. It's easier to tell a child who they're gonna be and then force them to be what you think they should be or you want them to be.
You know,
I was guilty.
You was
no,
guilty.
yes, no, that's
Oh, she go ahead and tell on herself. You don't have to tell her.
You can tell it.
Go ahead,
You can tell it.
You tell it.
all right. So you know how you learn things from your mother, so you make things a little bit different. I learned this from her, and I made a difference for my daughter. But growing up, I always wanted to be a dancer. I'm excellent. I can dance. Like, that was my gift. I
Right.
just could dance.
Right.
And she would always ask me, my brother, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a dancer. You can't be a dancer. It's just not a real career.
Oh,
So
yeah.
from that point,
Guilty.
I had I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, so now what? I just started picking random careers out the air. Okay, then I'll be a lawyer.
that you
My
didn't
godmother was a
like.
lawyer, so I was like,
Now, mind
then
you,
I hated it.
I did let her go to school for dancing. I paid every class. I paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was guilty.
Guilty.
So I did change, which is nice.
She changed. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what you like doing? Now. And that's why when you put that out there, Tiff, I was
About
like,
the nails.
You were on it because that's what she wanted to do. She was interested. You know what I always say? Let your child's passion lead you
Yes.
with respect to how to help them grow and become and just be happy and solid with who they are. You know, and I never, even though when my daughter, she started doing nails at 9 years old. And when she got out of high school, I'll never
was
forget.
already doing nails.
She was already
Straight
doing
through,
nails.
through high school. I mean, even the teachers, when I was in school, I would do the teachers' nails in school. All the teachers would let me do their nails while I was in high school.
Wow.
So I was doing the teachers' nails, doing high school and then prom. I mean, I went to Central Park East Secondary
Okay.
School, which was an alternative school to
An alternative
the public
school.
schools that were in Harlem. And we did.
It
bunch of-
catered to special children.
We were all. I mean,
Yeah, well,
creative
everyone, yeah,
to
that's
all-
why they're all in there.
creative
Special.
children, but,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Creative children.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
actually, all of us in there are still very close. We are all, close to each other.
I know
and
Demary Bonilla.
Yeah, she
Okay.
went to
She
the
went
school,
there.
so
They went to the
we
same.
all kind of still are connected to each
Okay.
other,
Mm-hmm.
and we just still talk to each other. But
Heidi's husband went there too, didn't he?
Really?
Yeah, Heidi's husband also went there. Yeah.
So we are still all connected to each other, but throughout that we were creative, so we were able to do. I did nails and we did all kinds of stuff.
okay.
But after that, I didn't go right into college. I went into cosmetology school, but I also went into hotel management.
Okay.
So I ran different hotels, the Plaza Hotel, the Sheraton Hotel,
The
I ran
Marriott.
the business centers throughout the
Yeah.
tri-state area.
Okay.
Until September 11th when it all got shut down.
When
and then that was a
yeah,
whole
when
thing.
that happened, I'll never forget. My daughter was downtown at work, and I panicked. I had already retired. Well, I had already retired from the hospital that I worked at for 21 years, and I panicked. I'm like, oh my God. And then once I was able to connect with her, they had to walk from 57th. Were you on 57th Street?
I was at the Plaza Hotel, but I had to release the employees from the Sheraton Hotel. So because I managed all those properties,
those
I had to walk to 42nd
Business
Street, release those employees from over there, and then walk back down to the Plaza, and then walk home. And I think my daughter was just born. So yeah, that was the
Yeah, but you know what? What I did was I jumped in my car and I met them.
Okay.
At a point, because she and some of her staff were I met them at a point where I could intersect with them because it was crazy. Everybody was walking up and it was just chaos.
I remember that day.
So me too. I'll never forget it. And so I was able to connect with them at 96th Street. And they got in the car, and I was able to get them out of the area, and we get home, and she was able to get her daughter, my first granddaughter, and I felt so much better. I just panicked. I think that connection with our daughters is so strong that we can sense them. We know, I like the ID investigation shows, and I've heard mothers say, really? Really? I
Listen,
study.
There's a corner in the house that somebody calls it Deb's Corner. Deb's Corner. That is Deb's Corner. You will find my mother in Deb's Corner watching Investigation ID, whatever channel.
Get it right, ID
Whatever, she
investigation.
could kill a person now. I'm going to tell you that.
And leave no evidence. And leave no evidence, honey. You know? Thank God I know I'm a child of God's, and I'd have to pay for that. So I'm not even trying to go there. But I watch women who have lost their daughters to murder and rape and murder and all of that, and they say, the minute of them say, I knew something was wrong.
It's that connection.
It was that connection, and then even in some cases, the mothers knew already that their daughters were dead. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to find what their daughters found for closure, as much closure as you could possibly get under that circumstance. But the connection is just absolutely phenomenal, and I can sense my daughter, I can sense my grandchildren, but that's part of spirituality. Mm-hmm. And the more you maximize that ability, the stronger your intuitive senses become. So I every day I do spiritual work. Every day. I'd say an average of 4 hours a day. Okay. 2 in the morning, 2 when I get, at night. And I do the prayer, which is the time I talk to God, and the meditation, which is the time I shut up and let God talk back to me and give me guidance and whatever else I may need. But I think the fact that when you are intuitively in tune with the God power within you, you know. Okay. You know what's going on with your children. You can even sense things that are going on with other people. You can see, hear, sense, smell, at a level that's phenomenal. So I think it's so important that, we do that kind of work on a daily basis. It keeps us connected in a way that, unless you know that experience, you wouldn't truly understand. You've got to have that kind of connection that, really enables you to bond on a level. I mean, almost on a soul level.
I was about to say, it's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, it's an out-of-body. You bond on a soul level, not just surface.
No.
It ain't about telling your daughter, you have to make yourself, put makeup on and buy Gucci, Bucci, and Moochie, and all these other designer names. And, that's something I never really did. I was never into designer clothes and all that. I was into looking good. Okay. Looking good for me, not emulating. Yeah, and not for somebody else, and not emulating other people. I've always been my own person. And I think because I had no parents guiding me, I had to learn how to be my own person. It doesn't mean I didn't make mistakes, but because I had to have that opportunity, I had to have that in order to survive to the point where I am. It's made a big difference in who I am and my parenting, not only of my daughter, but of my grandchildren,
And beyond.
And beyond, yeah.
I call you Mama C.
Yeah. Me too. I like one of Tiffany's girlfriends started calling me Mama C. Then it just spread. Everybody started. How did that go?
Happened in the nail industry.
Okay.
Because I was also in the nail industry, and I used to blog in the nail industry.
Right.
I've done quite a lot of stuff. So, just doing nails in the industry and traveling. I used to go to Florida, and we used to go to the different conventions. One of my nail friends said, Mama C. And I said, that's it. Mama C.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Mama C. And the name stuck. And it was Mama C. And I've been Mama C ever since. And we just called her Mama C.
Yeah.
Because that's who
And that was her name, Mama C.
I know, that's who I am. It took me a while to get used to that because I'm like, only old people.
I mean,
call Mama C.
No,
I mean, but
I can't call you by your first name.
God.
I can't. And now, mind you, me and your daughter are not the same age. But it's still that level of respect.
And you know what? I feel honored, and I take that honor in high esteem. And all those who are a part of my life, you're all my daughters.
Yes.
I mean, look, when God places people beneath our wings,
Yeah.
that's a tremendous responsibility. And, I embrace it. I love the people God has sent and placed in my life. And I think that when people hold you in high esteem and you hold them in high esteem, the caliber of the connection and the relationship just grows and grows and grows, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I'm not a saint.
Neither am I.
And if I need to go there, I'll go there.
Okay.
I mean, recently,
That's what we like.
I keep it real. I recently had to tell somebody a little something on Facebook, and then I deleted and blocked her because it was absolute nonsense. And then you're gonna come on my page calling me all kind of names and berating what I do, calling me a fake and a fraud. And then the next day, she sent me a text saying, this is, I'm not going to say her name, this is blah, 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 the woman you told to go F herself.
And I always knew that you were a fake and a phony.
And she said, and I always knew you were a fake and a phony.
Interesting. But you see, Trump has allowed everybody to say
To
what
show,
they want
to show their true colors.
Do what they want to do.
Exactly.
And don't think you're going to respond back to
But
them.
you know what? I always had a little, in the back of my mind, I felt she was a racist. Might have been. I felt that she was a racist. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to you can't battle with who people are.
You can't.
When you see who they are and who they are is not in alignment with holding humanity and high self-esteem, you get away from them. If you think you're going to change somebody who, number one, doesn't know they need to change, and number two, are not interested in changing, you're wasting your energy and your time.
A lot of times we can't change people. People got to be willing to change.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And if you see you can't change them, you leave them alone.
You leave them alone. Yeah, no.
That's
You see they are not going to change. You leave them alone. And you move on. Because people will, what's the saying? Misery loves company. They'll keep you stagnant where they are. You'll never grow. And that's how a lot of people block their blessings till they miss them altogether.
It's just like in business. I had a friend who, she said, Tiff, somebody you sent to me is not your real friend. You sure that's your friend? And I said, what do you mean? She said, no, that's not your friend. I said, oh, okay, And it wasn't, anything. And I said, oh, okay. And then you try to explain to people scenarios and situations, and you trying to tell them, okay, well, in business, there's certain things that you just don't do.
Yeah,
You got to explain to them what business is, and you're trying to explain to them, okay, in business, this is not how business runs.
It's not conducted.
It's not conducted that way.
Exactly.
You don't take your business and take your business on the outside. No. Okay, so if you have a partnership in a business and you spilling it to the outside world, and you had an investor that might just wanted to invest in your business,
you just blew it.
Blew that.
Okay.
Okay, we can't.
You just closed your business down.
You just closed your business down, girl.
And if I got to tell you that, we can't be partners.
No.
Because if I got to tell you that you just lost my $1 million contract because you done told my outside business, we ain't partners.
You just took food.
Oh, you just took food off my table, so you got to go.
Exactly. So you have to be.
It's a wrap. We done.
You have to be cognizant of the people in your life or who's trying to come into your life even. You got to use those spiritual powers, and they are super. I mean, I can read people like a kindergarten reader. I can fill in the blanks and
Make the circle.
read between the lines.
And that goes back to being a mother.
Exactly.
Like, baby girl, that one right there.
Girl, ain't that the truth? Yeah. But you know what? And you know what? But I found too that the more you fight them, particularly when it comes to boyfriend, the more they take up for them. So no matter what boyfriend she had, even if I didn't like him, I said, you know what? If I fight this, she's going to fight for him, and then she's not going to use her own spiritual powers to see, sense, and hear him on a level that she needs to. So I would step back and
agree with her.
And no, well, not agree with her, but
Okay, baby. Okay,
I just step
baby.
back. Exactly. And keep my mouth. Sometimes when they say silence is golden,
Ooh, you can't misquote silence.
Ooh, girl, you can't misquote silence, and that's the truth. So I just be silent, and my face always
It
told
always
the
tell.
truth.
It always tell.
Always tell me. When I was a little girl, my aunt always knew when I was lying, and I couldn't figure out how she knew I'm lying. You know, it was later on when I realized it's my face that's telling on me.
Yep.
And I realized at that point I'm not a good liar, because what comes out of my mouth
Doesn't agree.
may be one thing, but what's showing on my face is the truth.
Else.
It's the truth, exactly. So you also got to learn body language. So when you're raising your children, their body language will tell on them.
Okay.
It will tell on them, and then they wonder how we know what we know.
I always say I can't lie because
No.
I'm not a great liar. I can't
No.
lie at
Yes.
all. You can tell when I'm lying.
Okay.
It's written all over
And
me.
that's why.
So I
That's
don't lie. And I always tell my kids, please don't lie to me. That's the worst thing you could do to me because this brings me to a whole nother
It
level.
triggers her.
Now there is a certain, because we live in a society where, unfortunately, Trump.
yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
He done flipped
So,
America,
yeah,
and not for the better.
So there's certain aspects that you can't get around.
Right.
But I always tell my children, don't do it, because you just see a whole nother side of me if you're lying. So don't lie to me.
Don't take me there.
Don't take me there.
Don't make the
And they
beast
don't
come up.
usually they will not lie to me because they've done it once and they see that will turn a whole nother to a whole nother beast. when we do that.
Exactly. So, I think that motherhood is something very special.
It is.
I mean, I am so glad I had at least one child, because she literally, at a time when I was at my darkest, I started praying, and I was asking God, because I was getting ready to commit suicide.
Okay.
I was asking God, please help my family to understand. And the message I got back was, if you do this, Tiffany will never forgive herself. You know why? Because the sleeping pills I was getting ready to take were the ones she gave me to help me sleep. So I knew if I took those pills and she would know they came from her, it would
be a
destroy her.
burden
It
on
would be a
her.
burden on her for the rest of her life. And then, I'm thankful that I have this kind of relationship with God.
Okay.
Because had I not stopped to pray, had I not been a spiritual creature who was still a spiritual creature, however minimal my spiritual abilities may have been, I'm just so thankful because I would have missed out on my grandchildren. I would have missed out on all of you guys. The relationships that I've been able to build. I mean, the true relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, there are people who come in my direction, but they're gone.
Seasons.
They're seasonal people. There are seasonal people and then there are forever people. And we all walk the same path of enlightenment. And we may not be together all the time or in the same place, but we know how to reach each other.
Amen.
And know that we can reach out to each other and we're there for each other. That's what human life is all about. And that's what maximizes motherhood. It's just fabulous. Look at, okay, she's showing, she's doing her thing. She don't livened up a little bit, she's getting lively on us. Yeah, but you know what? It's one of the most special experiences of my life. And I've had numerous experiences, but I always say to people, when we seek to learn from those experiences, it takes us to a whole new level of connection and of relationship with our children. And I'm thankful. I mean, we've come through some rough times. We've come through some rough times. I remember one time where I was living, I had to push two sofa chairs together and then put a sheet on it so that it kind of stayed together, work it out so it stayed together so she'd have a bed.
Okay.
I remember from whence we've come and how far we've come. And it is just phenomenal. We just stuck together, stood our ground, and are continuing to grow to new heights of awesome. But that's what motherhood is all about, you know. And I think a mother never abandons her child.
Right.
Exactly.
Never abandons her
Exactly.
child.
No matter what.
No matter what. You know, especially we may not participate in some of the stuff they're doing if they're a drug addict or an alcoholic or they're doing things that are abusive to themselves. You may not allow them in your space, but you pray for them.
Constantly.
You constantly pray for
Now,
them.
there is a difference between tough love, because some kids don't understand that when you're giving them tough love.
Right.
And I think my kids sometimes don't understand the difference between that, because they think that I'm always hard on them. And they're in a stage where, you know, it's like, she's always hard on, you know, she doesn't, you know, and I can be a bit hard on them because I want them to understand that when they go out in life,
It's not easy.
It's not going to be lovey-dovey.
ain't nobody gets into them like that, okay?
Right.
Don't nobody care. You know, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. So I give it, sometimes at home, I give it to them the way they're going to get it out there in the world.
Okay.
And they don't like it all the time.
Right.
And they're like, you need to ease up on them. And sometimes my mother says, you
Then
need
I'm
to
like,
ease up on them.
I'll say,
And
they'll
I'm
come to
rough.
me and I'll say,
Yeah.
okay,
And I'm-
all right,
I'll-
just don't let your mother drive you nuts,
Yeah,
okay? It's okay.
I'm rough with it. I got to be honest. I'm rough with it because I'm like, they're not going outside. Nobody cares. You know, it's just like
Well,
what it is.
We've also come to our 3 o'clock time, where those of you who'd like to comment or have questions, you can call us here at genesisradio.com at 888-304-4401. Yeah, 4401. That's 888-304-4401. Call us and give us a little story about your being a mother or thoughts about being a parent even if you want. I think it's so important when we share information and we recognize that everybody has a piece of information that could benefit somebody.
Even grandmothers.
Yep.
I never understood how much joy my grandmother and my mother got from when we had children. And I'm like, listening to my girlfriends who became grandma, I'm like, it can't be all that. It can't be all that.
It is all that, isn't it?
When I had,
A girl is like,
really?
Tiffany, it is unexplainable.
Well, I don't know about that when you live together thing, because sometimes it pisses me off.
It is
'Cause
unexplainable.
I'm like, you know, Tiffany lives
Yeah.
with you, right? Yeah.
Tiffany
so,
lives upstairs. I live downstairs.
Oh, so see, there's a difference.
No,
Yeah, okay.
we're in the
So
same
see,
house, but
They're
they're
the
up
same
on the upper level.
Well, yeah, well, okay, so there's a difference.
All the kids is
because, see,
upstairs.
hello, that's the thing you do,
When
girl.
I got the discipline, then they go run to her.
That's what the baby do
Right?
that.
And then
Look,
she does and I'm like,
the baby does that. If her mother said, if Tiff says no, nah.
Oh, they know how to play us.
And look, and Tiffany used to do that.
Yeah, that's
I say
right.
no, she go run it.
Right to the
I
grandma.
see some people
No,
in the
to
chat
the
room,
father.
and they
And he
talking in
give
the
it-
chat room. Y'all
Right.
need to call in with some of these questions I see in this chat room. So
Hello, come on.
1-888-304-4401. Gina, Gil, Chris, I see Sarita in here. Y'all need to call in with some of these questions I see in this chat room.
Absolutely.
We
Gina,
are
you
also-
are a mother of a daughter, so we need you to call in and share a little mother-daughter tidbit.
Let me tell y'all what's going to happen with this chat room here on Facebook. Next week, we are going to have the chat room put back into our website, and we will be chatting with everyone on our website. We will no longer continue to chat on Facebook. You will have to go to
The website.
www.thesistership.com to chat with us in our chat room on our website. So again, this will be the last time you will see us chatting on Facebook. In the chat room on Facebook, we will no longer chat with anyone on Facebook. We will have the live Facebook feed, but we will not use the chat room on Facebook. You will have to chat with us in our chat room on our webpage at thesistership.com. So again, if you are in the chat room this time, we do see you, but we will discontinue the chat room on Facebook, and we will be using the chat room on our webpage. So we ask that you go to our webpage and sign up so that you can chat with us there, and we can do more so that we can see everyone. Because on Facebook, what happens is you have a bunch of groups, and we lose conversation, we lose people because they're being shared, and people are going into different entities, and we don't see everybody that's communicating with us. So we're going to ask that you use the chat room on our webpage so that we can see everybody who is commenting. On that note, I'm going to give you the number again to call in, which is 1-888-304-4401. As of next week, we won't be using the chat room on Facebook, but we will still be live on Facebook, okay?
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to read you some mother types before we end our segment today at 3:30. And you might find yourself or your mom in one of these types. And so you might want to understand. That might give you a little bit more understanding of that mother relationship you have with your mom, because a lot of times you say, I don't understand her. Oh, Jesus. And it creates chaos with respect to your own growth and development into adulthood and beyond. One mother type is sisters. In this case, mother and daughter are absolute equals, behaving more like sisters. Well, I don't care what relationship it is you have with your mother, you're never going to be equal.
That's right.
Okay, and I always say, your child is never going to know as much as you know, or at the same time that you know it, because you're going to be X amount of years older than that child, and that child will not be as experienced. They may think, she may think she is, but she isn't. They can even compete with each other, and the mother wants it this way, so she avoids actual motherhood. You know, that mother who wants to be your friend, okay, as opposed to being your mama.
Chastise you.
Yeah, that she don't want that serious stuff you have to do as a mother. She just wants the good part of it, and so she builds a friendship. Let me tell you, mothers and daughters do at some point become best friends, but when they're young and growing up, I am not your friend.
That's right.
Okay? I am your mother. It is my job to make sure that you stay in alignment with your purpose and get your life together. Because like my daughter said, when you go out into that outer, larger world, you're going to run into some things that are going to make you,
your boots.
Exactly. It's going to make you feel like you have just gone into the bowels of hell.
Okay.
If you don't have the proper
Guidance.
preparation and guidance for when you do go out there. A reverse of the roles can also take place when the daughter takes on the supportive role and becomes the mother to her own mother, being responsible, caring, and providing other parental behaviors. How it affects the daughter. Girls raised by these mothers are often more responsible and become leaders. The boundaries between people, but at the same time, they might feel unloved, emotionally neglected, and have a fear of rejection. Well, see, I can understand that piece because I didn't have a mom, and we were kind of bounced around, so I still have some residuals of rejection and what's the other word I'm looking for? Rejection and a lack of connection on that level that I think parents must have with their children, you know? So that word will come back to me. So if all of a sudden I shout it out, y'all know what the other word
abandonment,
is. You know, abandonment, yes. Rejection. And see, the sisterhood is strong. The motherhood is strong, girl. Yeah. So I still have some aspects of that. And so I have to be very cautious about the people who come into my life. Otherwise, it'll trigger those feelings of rejection and abandonment. And, you know, one of the things I've learned, though, about that is you got to keep a surface relationship with people until they prove worthy of being part of your soul, entering your soul. Because not everybody is going to protect you on the level that you need to be protected. Not everyone is going to understand you on the level of understanding that's required.
Right.
Okay.
to have your best interest.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's important. The things that go on in your relationship with your mother or your parents in general. Like I said, I didn't have a mother or father who were there that I can turn to. And almost everything I've learned from other friends' moms or just in general, you know. I learned some stuff on TV too, but not everything on TV is
It's real.
copacetic.
It's real.
And not everything on TV is real. I found that out the hard way too. Then another mother typing is best friends. This relationship is built on trust, and the mother is the first person a girl goes to with her thoughts and problems. This mother is very much involved in her daughter's life and supports her, always knowing what to say and being whoever her daughter needs her to be. A best friend, a love expert, a shopping partner, or even a partner in crime. Whatever that means. I don't do crime, okay? I ain't going to jail for you. Yeah, exactly. How it affects the daughter.
I'm not sitting on no throne.
Yeah, look, I'm a free spirit, okay?
I ain't been there. Okay? You say I go in and I go out.
In 2 years, we gonna say it
Like I
again.
said, I go there and minister,
But that's it. That's where it ends, okay? All right. She didn't mind, and she couldn't even stand being a CO.
Yeah, we
You know,
didn't do
she
that.
came out of their fair. That was just really not an
I'm
environment.
out.
She was out. Yeah.
she said I tried it.
I'll give the rules, but I ain't taking nobody's rules.
Okay, so I'm not in here.
Okay. Girls with these mothers are not afraid to face challenges and take risks. Since they feel loved and understood, they initiate relationships and don't have a fear of rejection. That's a pretty good relationship to develop with your daughter. You know, best friends. You know, letting that child know that you can come to
me.
Yeah,
Right,
that you
my
can
door's
come to
open.
me. My door's open. We can talk about anything, and I'm here to provide you with inspiration and information that will help you to empower yourself. Because I always tell people, we don't have the authority to empower other people, but we can inspire and encourage and provide information that they can take to inspire, to encourage and empower themselves. That's so important.
You have Joan Collins. She's in the chat room, and she says, "I only have a son, 47 years. I'm 47 years old. It was tough bringing him up as a child. I love and appreciate him so much. Now we are friends, but mom comes first."
Absolutely, Joan. I mean, so important. We must never step out of that mother role, no matter how close we and our daughters are, because when we begin to flip the script on parenting, all kinds of outcomes are possible. And so what we want to do is help them foster good outcomes for their own lives. Healthy, exactly.
We have Pamela Hodge is watching. Gina Gilchrist. We have Joan. Patricia Barlow is watching. Christopher McCabe. Just saying hello to everyone in the chat
Hey,
room.
everybody! Thank you for joining us.
Joining us again. I did mention that after this segment, we will be live in our chat room next time on the Sister Chat webpage. We won't be chatting.
Sistahship.
I'm sorry. Oh, Sister Chat. Okay. Well, we've had.
It's all connected. We all connected. It's all
okay?
connected.
But we will be on the Sistahship chat.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, I got it right.
Sistahship chat.
Yeah, I'll post it up.
Yeah, you'll post that information.
We'll post it up. I'm all over, we're on Pinterest. We're on Instagram. We're on
Twitter.
We're on Facebook. We're pretty much on all the social media
platforms.
right now. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'll post everything up so everybody know where you can chat
Tune
with us
in.
next.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so we're good to go.
Drink water.
Drink water.
And be great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, the third mothering type we have, and if I don't get through all of these, we will post it on our page later on this evening, okay? The third mother typing is strangers. you prefer to keep your mom out of, this is where you prefer to keep your mom out of your life, and she is the last one to hear about what's going on in it. Your relationship probably belongs to this type if you can identify with that. No, I don't identify with that one. In this case, mother and daughter do not involve each other in their lives and don't share any problems or thoughts. At least the really important ones, unless it's necessary, and they practically almost don't know each other.
That's unhealthy.
That's very unhealthy. Talking about dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that opens the door to all kinds of dysfunction.
Yeah, and in order, what I think, in order for that to have happened, that's a generational curse. That was.
Yep. That was something that
portal.
followed all down from one generation to the next. Yeah, I agree. How it affects the daughter. Children with detached relationships with their parents are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and they're more likely to have low self-esteem. In addition, it may also lead to a frustrating relationship with their life partner later in life. At the same time, the girl grows up to be very responsible and independent, since she could always solve her problems by herself. You know? But you know what? I think it's important when we realize we all need each other.
Yes.
And each one of us has some information that will help another. And so when you are in that kind of relationship with your mother, that kind of relationship just goes on. She has children, she has daughters, she's going to have that kind of relationship with her daughter, and so on and so on. And it's definitely not a healthy relationship.
No.
But that's also why we're called the Sistahship, because this couldn't work without all of the sisters that we have in the Sistahship.
Absolutely.
I mean, because it's just not us. It's, TiffanyCo. We have Kalima Green. We have Sharice Lynette. We have Daisy Rodriguez. We have Nikki Singh. I hope I didn't forget anyone. Did I forget anyone?
There's 6 of y'all, right?
There's 6 of us. We have, from time to time, we have Trish. She's been with us from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
There's so many people that are with us, not just the 6 that are on the website with us, but there are
But
so
we
many
have
people.
a mothership.
Because a mothership, yeah.
A mothership.
There's times-
Not just a sistership, a mothership.
Yeah, there's times when we all can't be here. Right now you see that it's just us 2 here.
Right.
We're not all going to be expected to be here. We're all doing so many different things. We all have our own businesses. So it works because if one can't be here, the other one is here. Somebody's making it. Or we're
Hillary.
switching. We
Right.
have Miss Hillary. We have Jane. We have Sherry. There's so many people that are connected to us here that it all works together. So if I can't make it, somebody else is making it so that we can all connect. It's all connected.
It continues to run.
It continues to run,
We
exactly.
Also, and now we collaborated with
Soil of
the
the Earth.
PTO,
Okay.
Soil of Earth.
The Purple Pantry
It's
Project.
the community connection, so that we can help them fill their pantry and get the children fed and their families, so that they can keep the pantry filled, so that the children can go down after school and feed their families and go home with a bag of food.
Exactly.
So we're trying to make sure that everybody starts bringing food over to the pantry so that they can fill their stock up cupboards, and the kids after school can go in there, grab what they need because it's anonymous, and then go home and go
And that's
from
a
there.
great thing.
Oh, absolutely. So it's about community health and well-being first, before going out and trying to first of all, we can't save the world. We're not here to save the world. But we can help a small, we can help those who are in our backyard. And it's reciprocal, you know what I'm saying? So when we form those kind of relationships, it's magnificent.
And it's also, like I said, it's a network of women. So what happens is we refer within our network first. Okay.
Absolutely.
So Kalima, Sharice, I do nails. TiffanyCo, Barrier Real Estate, they have their big sign up on 80. So if you're looking for a house, we refer into Barrier Real Estate. Insurance, all those we look within first, and then if we don't have anybody in our network, we look.
We
within
find-
our network to find who's
Right.
doing what. Trish has
The pads.
the pads, and then we
that's
have
right.
we also have we have couple of things coming out. We have the Black Businesses
Directory.
that you can go on our public page to get that listing of the Black businesses that are in the area. We're also working on one for the churches. So all of the Black churches that are in the area, that list will be coming out soon. I am working on that list. You'll be able to get that directory from us as well. And it's not just about Black Lives, just a Black directory. So we're also working on one.
We started on that because we were asked.
Right.
Like, where are the Black businesses?
Right.
We were asked, so we
We're
are
doing that.
catering to the requests of people who have asked us where are the Black businesses that we can access.
But we're also doing one for all of the businesses.
For all businesses.
Great, the businesses in the area that provide great services.
Right.
Excellent services, excellent,
Products,
just
et
products,
cetera.
and we're doing just one big list that everybody can go and say, okay, well, great customer service, and they can do that. So there will be 3 lists that come out from the Sistahship, and you can go onto our public page and you can grab those lists, and they're going to be there. It's taken me some time to do them, but I'm working on them. One is already out. We update that all the time. We put it out there, and we say, well, if we missed you, let us know. You can get on that list. And it's in our public room. Again, you have to join our website and you have to join our public page to see the list, and then we put it out there.
Well, I think we were saying that we were going to put that list on our website. So you go to our website and it'll be there. All you have to do is click on. It's there.
It's in the public page.
It's going to be in the public page too.
You can grab it there and just print it out from there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So, okay.
That's great information.
Oh, absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Doesn't it?
And when you don't have people on your team who are team players, that's where the difficulty comes in. So we have to make sure that the people we are congregating with, in order to provide something good, are on the same page with us. Because sometimes, you can be in the same book, but one person be on page 1, another person be on page 5,000.
Okay.
There's
no connection.
There's no connection. When you're that far apart, there's no connection. And that only creates chaos, drama, a whole lot of unnecessary stuff.
Which
So,
is excellent, because Trish has actually been helping me with the churches.
Right.
I sent over a list to Trish, and she sent it back to me with some of the churches that I don't know about.
That you don't know about.
We're all kind of looking at the list right now. And creating it
Absolutely.
So we don't miss any of the churches that are in the area.
Right.
So that everybody knows all of the Black churches that are in Pennsylvania, and we're making sure that
In
all
our area.
in our area, and if they have a Facebook page, if they have a website, everything will be on one sheet so that everybody can say, oh, okay, well, here they are.
Right. Because
And I should have that list done. I want to say maybe like a week and a half. I should have it ready, because I thought I would have it ready last week, but it's taken me a little bit more time. But it'll be out there soon.
Right.
Because some churches, I may have missed some.
If we missed it, we'll add it on.
we'll find them, we'll add them
Right.
on at
Yeah.
some point, once we realize, who they are and where they are.
Exactly.
So, I am not going to go any further with these mother types right now. We'll make sure it goes on the public page, because there are a few more to go through, and we're coming close to the end of our segment today, and we want to make sure that we close it out appropriately, timely and appropriately. And I think that having you two here today has been absolutely phenomenal. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you. And you guys always know where to find MamaC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait. Okay, go ahead.
Let's tell a
We
story
got a
of
few
how
minutes.
We met. So we met because I am also, what don't I damn do, right? I coupon,
TNT.
right?
Couponing.
TNT, couponing in the Poconos, right? So we taught these classes on couponing, and we used to do that
At the
in the
churches.
church, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we met because I was teaching couponing classes, and Trish used to come to one of the coupon classes, and they asked us to teach a coupon class.
Right.
So Trish knows me. She's like, okay, she don't take no mess or whatever. So,
Tell it.
I happened to actually do a coupon class for her, and then I did another class for her, and that kind of, we went to that class, and it was kind of like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But
Okay. And so, you know, I'm like,
Okay, I'm a little lost there, but okay, keep
you know,
talking.
So the time went on, and you know, an hour and a half later, so I got up and I left.
Point blank, period.
Yeah, and she told me another person,
Let's go.
we all rode together, and we
Yeah.
were trying to say, oh, let's wait a little longer. She said,
So
if you don't come with me now, you're going to have to
Y'all
find your way home.
Y'all gonna find your way home.
We hurried up and got up.
But that being said, is you know, we gotta take each other's time, you know,
Seriously.
Seriously.
Yeah, and we got to
you know,
appreciate
and appreciate everybody for
who we
and
are.
value their time. And sometimes we don't value each other's time.
And some people, nobody's more important than
Than
anybody else.
And
Come
I
on.
don't care if you have a church, if you have you gotta value people's time.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
you know, there is a matter of respect with everybody. I don't care what everybody is doing.
Absolutely.
And it was just at a point where I was like, enough is enough. And you know, I'm the type of person. If I smell the BS, I'm gonna walk.
She walking.
And I'm walking.
Bam,
And
she walked. And she walked.
And I walked.
Walked out of that church that day, walked. And I'm like, okay, let's go.
No nonsense. No nonsense.
Respect
Just,
our
you know,
time. We'll respect your time.
And we come back. I'm just that type of a person. Don't give me nonsense. I won't give you nonsense. You give me nonsense, I'm gonna give it back to you. I play nice, you play nice. You play dirty, I play dirty. That's just how I am.
That's who she is. Well, I'm working on her with that, though. I'm working on her a little bit, okay? Okay, what y'all say? No? No?
I know.
Let her be.
I know we want to close it out with a prayer. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do that.
So we're going into that
And
now.
we're gonna
And I
close it out.
completely understood you walking.
Hello.
Grab her hand. We're gonna pray.
And then the little note that I got afterwards wasn't so nice either. So that was a wrap too.
That was a
But,
wrap.
you know,
Exactly.
we respect each other's time. We keep it going. And,
Exactly.
You know, that was that.
And it's funny because I just told Tiff that story, what about a week or two ago? I just told you.
We
I just
always
told her.
always on the same page.
And that's what it's all about, you know. Like-minded mothers know how to function.
That's it.
We know how to operate. We operate differently, okay? And guess what? We okay with it and each other.
Okay.
On that note, Trish, do your thing.
Yep.
First, thank y'all for having us today. Lord Yahweh, we thank you for making this possible, letting us go to another level, letting us understand who our children are. I'm not just going to say our daughters because we do have sons. So giving us the ability to bring forth what you presented to us from the very beginning and to let us continue to align with one another. And we thank Mr. Terry for allowing this to come forth.
Amen.
Without you directing us, where shall we be? Continue to pour into us so we can continue to pour into others. Continue to give MamaC the visions to allow her to overflow onto us, to let us receive it. And the ones that's coming up after us, Lord, we ask you to continue to touch them. Open up their minds. Let them not fall to the sidelines, but let them stay aligned with those that mean well for them. In Yahweh's name, we continue to pray and let the sistership continue to move beyond this mountain.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. We saw it, and when you talked about continue to pour into me this morning, I woke up and I was like, I had to get my pen and start writing because he had poured into me overnight, and I started writing everything that I need to write out because I couldn't remember it all. I knew. So, you know, we are so glad you guys came and spent some time with us. We had church in here today, okay? And, you know, we are part of not the norm. All right. On that note, I hear the music. That means shut up and get to getting. So thank you all for joining us today. This has been enlightening and lively. Until next Sunday, the Sistahship, peace out.
Now come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Now come on, let's talk about it.
We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. Substance, Sis, you know we on a mission, no games. Help each other get over some things, build strength, bring change. Cause Cause we've been through the rain. Now it's time to shine like Bling. Let's talk about life skills. We building up our quality to right wills. We rolling out of poverty, love heals. So we become the prodigy of how a sistership could be a really hot commodity. Stand together, we united, hold hands. Support each other dreams and our plans, doing everything we can. Just to show we understand the power of a friendship fam. Live life on purpose. Together we learn it. Yeah, let's talk. We don't wanna see you hurt. And we here for each other, no matter the color, networking. That's for sure and for certain. Come on. Yeah, we on a sistership. Come with us, we on a sistership. Yeah, we on a sistership. Roll with us, we on a sistership. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya.
Sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sistership, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about